Right now, warmer temperatures are here for the week, but so is another winter storm. We'll have the latest conditions and radar. Also, Vice President Kamala Harris is back in Wisconsin, set to deliver remarks as the 2024 campaign heats up for both parties. Good afternoon, and welcome to News 3 Now at noon. I'm Kyle Pazorski. After a week of bitterly cold temperatures, things are finally warming up. However, another winter storm will be moving into our area tomorrow. For the latest on what we can expect, let's head to the weather patio with meteorologist Jacob Madison with a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Jacob.
It's kind of crazy that I'm outside. It feels pretty balmy out here, although temperatures are still right around freezing. And unfortunately, we have more alert day conditions tonight due to snow and freezing rain. Now, snowfall will likely not be as much as the snow we saw 2 weeks ago, but the addition of freezing rain will likely create very slippery road conditions. But I have to talk about these temperatures, upper 20s and lower 30s across Dane County. That's the case for a lot of our areas. So temperatures are still below freezing, and it is still a bit breezy. So it feels cold out here, but certainly warmer than the last few days. And here's a look at the temperature change over the last 24 hours. Some areas over 20 degrees warmer. Now, if we look at the current radar, we're not really seeing a ton on radar. A few flurries in the far southern portion of our area. But as we look further south, there is quite a bit of snow, ice, and freezing rain. And that is expected to move into our area later tonight. So we could see some flurries and maybe even some light freezing rain during the day today. But for the most part, we aren't going to see any precipitation until later tonight, and it likely will move into our area during the early morning hours tomorrow. And much of our area, with the exception of far northern counties, will likely see some snow at some point, especially during the late morning, and we also will see that freezing rain mixing in with the snowfall. I'll have more details on this system and have a full forecast of just how much snow we could see coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. And happening today, Vice President Kamala Harris is back in Wisconsin. Her plane touched down at Mitchell International Airport at Milwaukee at around 11. This is the 5th time since her swearing in that she's been in Wisconsin. For more, let's go live to Will Keneally in Waukesha County. Will, how are you doing?
Hey, Kyle. Yeah, so we're in suburban Waukesha County, a town called Big Bend, where the vice president is speaking at a union hall. This is also coinciding with the 51st anniversary of Roe v. Wade being decided. And obviously, we know that's a big issue for our Wisconsin voters here. Abortion certainly dominating the 2022 ballot, and then will also dominate the 2024 ballot as well. Among the dignitaries greeting her at the airport, some big-name Democrats, obviously, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson, Lieutenant Governor Sari Rodriguez, and Senator Tammy Baldwin, who will be on the ballot this November. And as I believe, if we can still hear her, is leading into the vice president's speech. We're expecting her to speak in about the next 15 minutes or so, and we'll have full coverage tonight, 4, 5, and 6, with you at News 3 Now. But for now, reporting in Waukesha County, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. Meanwhile, an assembly committee is holding a public hearing on a bill to restrict abortion. Republicans introduced the bill on Friday. It would cut off access to abortion at 14 weeks of pregnancy. Currently, Wisconsin law bans access at 20 weeks. The bill will need to make its way through both the Assembly and Senate. However, last month, Democrat Governor Tony Evers said he would veto legislation that further restricts abortion access. The vice president says this bill is the latest in a string of attacks on reproductive freedoms. Her statement reads in part, women in Wisconsin have lived in a state of chaos and uncertainty ever since Donald Trump paved the way to overturn Roe v. Wade. If Donald Trump is reelected, he'll try to gut abortion care in every state across the country, and he has plans to do it. With just one day to go before New Hampshire's primary, the race for the Republican presidential nomination is officially down to 2. Former President Donald Trump and his former UN ambassador Nikki Haley. This after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis dropped out yesterday. While the latest polling shows Trump with a big advantage among Republicans in New Hampshire, independents, known as undeclared, are the biggest voting bloc in the state, and they're allowed to participate in the Republican primary. So while Trump maintains a double-digit lead, Haley is focused on turning out those people in the middle.
This year, I am still completely undecided. This election's coming up on Tuesday, and I still don't know who I'm going to vote for.
Haley's path forward may be an uphill climb. Trump won New Hampshire's independent voters in 2016. Now, switching gears, if you have a question or a concern about your plants or garden, you can send us those via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will join us later in the show with the answers. And again, that is tips@channel3000.com. There's more news to come on News 3 Now at noon, including some disappointing news for fans of Hidden Valley Ranch. Plus, several companies announced big layoffs, sending stock numbers soaring. That's next in the Money Watch Report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Baby, it's cold outside, but this house is going to be nice and comfortable when we're done with it. Hi, Andrew Larson here from Larson Home Services and Dr. Energy Saver. Do you have enough insulation? Is your home cold and drafty? Does your furnace run nonstop? If it does, give us a call. We're not just an insulation company, we are the experts from the attic up. Call now and get 24% off installation labor and a free upgrade to R60. Be part of the Larson experience.
Get into Steinhafels and test rest a Beauty Rest Black for your chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Beauty Rest Black mattresses provide luxurious comfort and superior support. And right now, queens start at $57 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, you'll get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Hurry in and test rest the amazing Beauty Rest Black, and you could be on your way to Hawaii. Relax, it's Steinhafels.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Every spring, the love of my life came here to paint. Cress helped us make sure she's never forgotten.
We are Cress. We truly believe your memories matter.
Find inspiration at the Build and Remodel Expo, sponsored by James Hardy. Meet local experts showcasing the latest innovations in home building and remodeling. Visit buildremodelexpo.com for details.
Stock numbers soared as several companies announced big layoffs. The parent company of Sports Illustrated is laying off a significant number of the iconic magazine's staff, though the publisher says it will continue to put out content. The magazine was recently accused of publishing AI-generated stories with fake author bylines, though the company denies those claims. Online marketplace Wayfair is laying off 13% of its employees, and Macy's has plans to cut 2,300 jobs and close 5 store locations as it prepares to, quote, deploy a new strategy to meet the needs of an ever-changing consumer and marketplace. The National Association of Realtors says home sales plunged by more than 18% in 2023 compared to the previous year. That's the biggest decline since the housing slump of the late 2000s. Home prices soared to an average record high of $389,000 in 2023, with 30-year mortgage rates topping at nearly 8%. And some disappointing news for fans of Hidden Valley Ranch. The company's lip balm collaboration with Burt's Bees is already sold out online. For now, the lip balms come in 4 flavors: Hidden Valley Ranch, crunchy celery, fresh carrot, and buffalo sauce. Though the makers note they are not for consumption. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Carissa Lawson.
And here at the noon hour, last check, the Dow Jones is up 124.5. The NASDAQ is up 62 and the S&P 500 up close to 15. When we come back, Pam has today's egg prices, plus Jacob returns with the complete forecast. And then tonight on Live at 4, Will Loper has the latest and greatest of big screen and small on the Loper Report.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Save big money now at Menards. DuraClean is an interior paint and primer in one with Stay Clean technology, so your home stays beautiful longer. Get a gallon for $19.97 after $8 rebate. Give your space the Platinum treatment with Platinum Plus interior paint. Its stain shield technology protects your spaces with a performance you'd expect from a luxury paint. Pick up a gallon for only $39.89. Also, don't forget to check out Ironside, Dutch Boy's Color of the Year.
Save big money at Menards.
If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, watch out.
Watch out. The insurance company is going to ask you to sign some papers. Don't do it.
You may be entitled to money your insurance company isn't telling you about.
Don't trust the insurance company after your accident. You can miss out on what you really deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. There's never a fee until we win your case.
Gruber Law Offices watched out for me and settled my case for $2.5 million.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
What you doing?
I'm locking in my prospects. It's the best way to win big on fantasy sports.
Yeah, like what?
I got you.
Oh, a black genie.
You picked 6 right. You win 25 extra cash. Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Common is on the Jennifer Hudson Show, and everyone wants to know, so I'm asking, are you dating anyone?
Yes, one of the most beautiful people I ever met. She's smart, she's talented.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. Tonight at 6. Social media is no easy playground for kids. Jalen Banks explores the impact that social media can have on youngsters' mental health. Plus, an expert offers valuable advice for parents and kids. Tonight on News 3 Now at 6. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Pam, it's a warm day today. It should be nice outside.
Well, you know, anything's an improvement compared to last week, Kyle, isn't it? I mean, I know that people are kind of complaining about the sloppy roads, but I said it in the morning show, and I'll stand by it. Wisconsin tends to get sloppy at this time of the year, and it usually hangs around until April. But, yeah, you're right. Warming up is a good thing, especially since we've got so many things that are happening this week and next around Wisconsin's ag calendar. Tomorrow, I'll see you down at campus for the UW Ag Outlook Forum. We've got the Wisconsin Bison Association getting together later this week up in Green Bay. And next week, we've got the big Wisconsin Corn Soy Expo that's happening, as well as Ag Day at the Capitol. So we just keep on rolling, keep the boots tucked in so that we can make it there. You know, one show that's coming up later in 2024, Wisconsin Farm Technology Days. Now, I told you in the past about some changes that the Wisconsin Farm Technology Days board made to keep the show moving forward with some fairly substantial changes within the University Extension System. Anna Maynard, General Manager of Wisconsin Farm Technology Days, said they had to kind of go a different route when it came to selecting sites for the big show. So instead of going to a county and trying to get the whole county to buy in, they're now selecting farms that want to step up to host the show. In 2026, we'll head to Stratford. And no joke, Derry, in 2025, we're headed to the Clinton Farms outside of Bear Creek. Maynard says one of the big reasons why they're pivoting a little bit is the lack of available volunteers. Like many shows in agriculture, the Farm Technology Days relies on heavy volunteers. Last year, during a show that was at a site-neutral location in Baraboo, they found out that if they brought in food trucks instead of having food prepared on grounds, that shaved about 900 volunteers off their list of needs. That's one of the basic dynamics that's changing about Wisconsin Farm Technology Days coming up 2024. So things are looking a little healthier on the midday for corn, beans, wheat, and even our fluid milk contracts. Pretty quiet as far as product prices, though. Barrel cheese today unchanged at $1.46 3/4. 40-pound block cheese, that's up 5.5 at $1.50, and double A butter stands still $2.54.5 per pound. So I'm with you, Kyle. Even though it may only be a couple degrees, I think by the time we get to midweek, we're going to feel like short sleeve weather compared to what we've already experienced.
And that Stratford show, that would be pretty interesting. That's pretty close by to where I actually grew up, Pam. So I might have to check it out this year.
I'll make you a Cub reporter.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Pam. Let's check in now with Jacob for a complete look at your forecast today.
Thanks, Kyle. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know for the rest of the work week. We are going to see that wet snow and some freezing rain tonight into tomorrow, but we also have a second system. Now, the second system looks to mostly be in the form of solid rain. Some mix of freezing rain and snow is possible in the northern portion of our area, but in general, we are going to remain in the 30s throughout the entire week, which is above average and certainly a lot warmer than what we saw last week. So here's a look at future track. We're not going to see a lot of precipitation today. Maybe some freezing rain and ice in the far southern portion of our area, maybe even some flurries as well. But later tonight into early tomorrow, we are going to see that precipitation move into our area from the south. Likely going to see that start out as freezing rain, but most of our area should see snow, especially during the late morning and early afternoon. But as temperatures warm up throughout the afternoon, some of that snow may transition back into freezing rain before it completely clears out by Tuesday evening and overnight. But then as we get into Wednesday, here comes another system, but mostly in the form of rain. It could see a few snowflakes in the far northern portion of our area, and this also will continue through Thursday. Pretty light on Thursday as the bulk of the rain from that system will occur on Wednesday. If you're in the northern portion of the state, if you are going up there, could see some snow on Thursday, but we aren't going to see a lot of snowfall with that second system as it will be just a little too warm. But for tonight and tomorrow, this will mostly be tomorrow. We'll see around 2 to 4 inches for Monroe, Janesville, over towards Milwaukee, 1 to 2 for Madison, Mineral Point, Platteville, up northeast towards Juneau and Fond du Lac. But Wisconsin Dells and areas north and west, likely not going to see any accumulation, especially closer towards La Crosse. Now, here's a look at the timing of the system. We could see a mix today, mainly in the far southern portion of our area, but the roads are still pretty snow covered from the snow 2 weeks ago and the cold temperatures. So it's still going to be a little rough driving today. And then as we get that snow and freezing rain tonight into tomorrow, it will continue to be pretty rough. But by the time we get to Wednesday, with all that rain coming down, it looks like roads will finally begin to improve. And here's a look at the precipitation chances over the next 7 days. Likely going to see that freezing rain, snow tonight and tomorrow. Also likely going to see that rain on Wednesday with some smaller chances lingering into Friday. Should be dry by the time we get to Saturday. So here's a look at the full 7 to 10 day forecast. Alert day tomorrow for the snow and freezing rain. But take a look at those temperatures. They're going to remain in the 30s throughout the entire week. In the next couple of days, we could see low temperatures in the 30s as will be breezy, and we'll also see that rain and snow, obviously, so the temperatures won't be falling all too much. It looks like by the time we get to the weekend and next week, we're finally going to see some calm weather. Temperatures will be above average, and we're not expecting to see a lot of precipitation, just a few flurries Sunday night into Monday. So although we have alert day conditions today, it does look like we have calmer weather on the horizon, and we definitely deserve some. It's been a pretty wild last 2 weeks, especially considering it was calm up until then for the most part.
Well, you and the entire weather team really deserve some calm weather. So
thank you so much. But yeah, I am looking forward to just a little bit of a breather for sure.
All right, thank you so much, Jacob. Well, Vice President Kamala Harris is in Waukesha, set to be speaking about abortion rights. We're going to take a live look inside the event. The Vice President is expected to speak very shortly. We will have more coverage on her visit coming up tonight on Live at 4. And up next, Howard's in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with a very special guest.
All this week, we're highlighting some of my favorite TV shows from the past, as well as a recipe inspired from each one. Today, we're kicking things off with a show that I watched every Friday night, The Brady Bunch. So you can only imagine how excited I am to have Christopher Knight, who you might recognize as Peter Brady, right here in the test kitchen. Welcome.
Hey, Howard. Oh, I'm so excited being here.
Isn't it great?
I love your place.
You know, I loved watching The Brady Bunch, and my favorite episode was when you were trying to imitate Humphrey Bogart, and you asked your mom and Alice what was for dinner.
Remember it like it was yesterday. Now, the funny thing about that was I didn't know who Humphrey Bogart was. So I was doing an impersonation of our associate producer's impersonation of Humphrey Bogart. And he had this real clumsy way of doing Humphrey Bogart, now that I know who Humphrey Bogart is. Head tilted, the lips like that. Pork chops, apple chops.
There you have it. Well, in tribute to that classic line, guess what we're making today?
Let me guess. Pork chops and apple chops. Isn't that swell?
That's right. And our version starts with thick-cut pork chops that are hand-breaded and sautéed with caramelized onions and served with homemade applesauce. You can get the recipe for what Peter Brady calls
pork chops and apple chops
simply by visiting our website. You can also check out our behind-the-scenes interview where Chris shares all that's going on in his life today. I'm Howard with Christopher Knight in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found
a very Brady way
for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Ahead at noon, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. Again, you can email those questions to tips@channel2000.com.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
Winter in Wisconsin means snow, blustering winds, and sub-zero temperatures. Will your insulation keep your home warm? Fry Construction can help. We're your roofing and insulation pros. We'll find cracks and air paths in your insulation that are letting in the icy cold and hindering your comfort. With our thermal imaging and our cutting-edge insulation techniques, your home will be warm and energy efficient for years to come. Visit fryconstruction.com today for your free thermal imaging consultation and save 24% on select insulation services.
Spectrum Mobile brings you our best deal to start the new year. Now you can get unlimited mobile for $15 per line. Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for just $15 per line with no added taxes or hidden fees and no contracts. Save over $1,400 for the first year. Call 855-231-7007. Spectrum Mobile includes nationwide 5G and the fastest wireless speeds with unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for just $15 per line. Call 855-231-7007 or visit a Spectrum store near you.
Get ready, Madison. Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week is here. Over 40 restaurants will showcase 3-course meals from $30 with 15 restaurants serving lunch. Plus, enjoy the perfect pairings with wine and more from E&J Gallo. Check our online guide on madisonmagazine.com to see which places offer takeout and dine-in. Save the dates, January 22nd through the 26th. Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week, where good times and great meals come together. Presenting sponsor, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, and supporting sponsor, Roth Cheese.
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is back answering your plant and garden questions today. Again, email those to tips@channel3000.com. We don't have many in today, so if you have one, please send it in. First one, Patricia asked, I planted daylily seeds about 2 weeks ago and nothing is coming up. I'm using potting mix and vermiculite for a medium. Lisa, is this a common thing to see these not coming in?
Well, I will say that, Patricia, that usually when people are planting daylilies, they're planting them directly from the tubers,
which is a type of bulb. It's a lot easier. So if you're using seeds, whether you purchase them or whether you had daylilies that you were saving seed from, it takes quite a bit longer and also requires a process called stratification, which is a cold period. And they need about 5 weeks of being in a cool place. So if you haven't done that, that's definitely going to slow down the process. So maybe you want to put your pots in like a cooler and on the inside corner of a garage where it gets cold but not freezing. If they have been stratified, it can take up to 5 or 6 weeks for them to germinate and for you to see seedlings. It is just a process where patience is definitely the watchword.
That's the word of the day. Okay, next question we just got in. What do you fertilize a Christmas cactus with and when?
So Christmas cactus, you can just use a bloom boosting fertilizer, and the time you want to do that is sort of at the end of the summer. Christmas cactus depend way more on day length to spur the production of flower buds, so you want to be sure that you can leave it outside until it gets nights are in the 40s. If you have it in the house, you want to put it in like a bedroom where it gets sun during the day and light during the day, but it's not a room that's used at night because it needs that sort of darkness followed by daylight followed by darkness at that certain time, that shortening day length, and that is what triggers the flower bud production.
Okay, and we got time for one more question. Cindy writes, I have a very healthy money tree. I actually didn't know money trees are real. Okay, well, leaves are turning yellow and falling off. New shoots are curling up. Got some money tree soil to replant it with. Is this the right thing to do right now?
Well, this is not the optimum time to be repotting. You'd really want to wait until the end of February. I would check and make sure that you're not overwatering. A lot of those kinds of plants don't have like hugely like big root systems, and so if you overwater, it will sometimes show symptoms that look remarkably like underwatering. So make sure that it dries out a little bit between waterings, and then I'd also watch the light.
Okay, and actually we do have one more question that we can fit in here. I have a bulb that has been decoratively glued to a log. Is it salvageable to keep?
A bulb that's been glued to a log. Sometimes I will see like air plants are decoratively glued to the log, or sometimes like succulents, they'll pot them up in little parts of the, as far as a bulb, without knowing what kind of bulb it is, I can't answer the question, but take a photo with your phone and email it to plantdesk@brucecompany.com. And once we know exactly what you've got, then we can answer your question.
All right, that's all the time we got now. Here's Jacob then with one final check of your forecast.
Thanks, Kyle. All week temperatures will be warmer than last week. We'll have highs in the 30s, and low temperatures may be in the 30s as well, as we'll have a good amount of precipitation expected. We have the alert day tomorrow due to snow and some freezing rain. Could see about 1 to 4 inches of snow. Isolated higher amounts could occur less south and east of Madison near Monroe and Janesville. Now, as we get into Wednesday, we do have another chance of precipitation. This time it looks to mostly be in the form of rain, and some of that rain will continue into Thursday, but the bulk of precipitation from that system will occur on Wednesday. As we get into Friday, we could see some lingering snow showers, but it looks like it will remain dry as temperatures will be in the 30s. And then as we get towards the weekend, it looks like we are going to see dry conditions. 30s continue. And then for next week, it looks like we are going to see some very calm conditions. Temperatures will be pretty steady. We'll see fairly dry weather with the cloud cover here and there. Overnight temperatures will be a bit colder, but still, considering that last week we had the bitterly cold temperatures, the week before we had the 2 snowstorms, and even for a chunk of this week, we're going to have the precipitation, snow, freezing rain. We definitely deserve a little bit of a break, and it looks like we'll get that next week.